Eating the light.
So
We're ready.
this panel's on Let's Plays. I'll start off by letting you guys introduce yourselves.
We'll start, I guess, with me.
Absolutely.
Far left. My name is Michael Wright with Myriad Gamers. I also go by Myriad Mike often.
I'm Litkin. I'm also with Myriad Gamers. I'm also starting to produce some separate content on my own, but me and him do Let's Plays together.
And I'm Marty, otherwise known as Rebob on YouTube. I'm a solo YouTuber, Let's Gamer, Let's Player, Let's Gamer, everything like that.
Let's play game.
Yes, Let's Play games. There we go.
So maybe start off with how you guys got into this.
I was just, I don't know, I was inspired by some of the other people out there trying to do it, so I'm trying my hand at it as well. We did quite a bit of work a year ago, and we were kind of resurging back into everything. So
yeah, we took a break about
6 months.
6 months or so.
Real life happened.
He had a lot of work. He had a new job that he was going into since he can't do it full-time YouTube by himself. And I got actually started with him at the same time. Me and him was doing Fallout 3 videos because we both have a mutual love for the game, as along with a lot of obsession. Yeah, because we play Fallout 4 now. So.
Watching fighting games online. Nobody had a lot of them up, and there was one guy, Maximilian Miles 93, who was just like a pinnacle of fighting game videos for YouTube, how-tos. Here's the basics beginning, and I started watching those. I'm like, I could do this. So I went out and bought all the equipment myself and watched a ton of how-to videos and then started.
You guys want to just talk about it, or you guys have questions?
Either or.
How do you guys want to go?
Let's talk a little bit first. Go for questions.
Sure, that's first. Well, I started first on this end, so I'll let you go this time.
Oh, what do you want to talk about? Okay, all right.
Well, let's see here.
There's only so many things you can go. No, I'm going to do a little bit of something different on this. Like on my channel, you'll see a lot of things different from what other people do. Like Markiplier does, his own thing with a bunch of indie games, and you have other people that do like these Let's Plays. They're constantly winning, and you see nothing but the good things. And I do the opposite of that. I want to show you how bad I am at these games, and there's a reason for that, especially with fighting games. You buy a brand new fighter game that just came out, let's say 6 months ago, so you're already 6 months behind the curve on this, okay? You start playing, you're learning the game, and you're trying to get better, and then you have all these people that are just, I won't say addicted to this game. They've gotten all the core moves down, all the special moves down, and so when you jump online for the first time, it's like, okay, I have a basic grasp of this. You're going to get stopped. It's going to happen. I thought it was funnier to see that happening, and it turns out, one particular video that I had one comment on there, because I was getting ready to get done with it. I'm like, I've got 5-10 views per video. It's not working. I'm not doing anything. One guy on there commented, it's so great to see that you're still getting up and fighting and doing this, even though you're getting beat down so much. This is inspiring me to keep playing this game. I'm hooked. I'm done. This one guy, I don't know who this guy is, but he has set me for a lifetime of doing this. And it's entertaining for me personally. I like to make people smile, make people laugh at my own expense.
I suck at fighting games.
But the whole thing with that is you're still showing the fact that you're sucking at it, but you're doing it. You're not giving up. You're not surrendering. To the general public.
She beats me up a lot. IRL.
Fair enough. I mean, some people are into that. Yeah. I mean, with your healing factor, it's okay too.
Yeah, exactly.
But like you can even do stupid things. Like I like doing the makeup challenge. I've done a clothespin challenge. I've done compilation videos where things are happening in the background that I've cut out of normal and then put into something else because it's fun. And really what it boils down to is I like entertaining. I don't like being center of attention, which is why I'm kind of blushing right now because all of your studies directly at me. It's kind of freaking me out a bit. I see it too. But it's the entertainment value to know that somebody out there may watch this and be inspired to do something to make themselves better in a nutshell.
Cool. Well, I guess it's we started doing it about the same reasons you were. We wanted to. It makes us happy to entertain folks. We like to, I don't know, maybe not be the center of attention like we are now, but we got on there originally to have fun. We actually do a lot of our early videos as a group of friends. We had about 4 or 5 people and
Do a barrel roll.
yeah, do a barrel roll and play
My opus day.
yeah, play old N64 games and Nintendo, Super Nintendo stuff that we all grew up with. Just to have fun, have a good time. And if somebody gets on and watches these videos and like, hey, it's actually pretty fun. Well,
Okay.
so be it. I mean, if they have a good time watching us have a good time, then we've done our job for the day. It's not about us for the views, even though they do help. It's just knowing that we brought a little shiny, I guess, little lights, I guess you could say, to somebody's day.
So, yeah, like, I was obviously inspired by a lot of the people you see online to do this kind of stuff. And like you said, one of our first original projects is we just sat down, we all got together with this one shooting session, and it became a long series, I think about 16 or so. I say long, it's not that long.
We had a couple of episodes on
The series in particular that he was mentioning before with the group is something we like to call Drunken Gamers. It's a series we worked on that became more of a game between us all, just trying to pick the worst thing to give to the next person to humiliate them and berate them as much as possible while drinking alcohol and having fun. So,
Shows initiative.
yes. So, and when he's talking about the barrel roll thing is for like editing process wise, there are a lot of different ways that you can handle Let's Plays. Obviously, the most traditional way is the easiest way, which is a simple commentary over a game. But there's obviously scare cams or your face cams that you're put in, or the Drunken Gamers approach where we did have the commentary over the game, but we added in a lot of visual gags to go in with all the jokes that we were telling as we were going through it. So this that was a whole other level of editing. It's a nightmare. I would not advise it, because I had one of the episodes that's maybe about 20 minutes long that took me 16 hours to edit just for one joke.
Do a barrel roll.
No, not that one, but that one's my opus day.
The Techno 2014.
Oh gosh. So,
Just try editing Splatterhouse.
Oh yeah, you can't do that. It's not possible.
Yeah.
but yeah, so like what he's referring to the barrel roll, or she was referring to the barrel roll, I really started getting very good at editing it by our 4th episode after I'd gotten enough practice with the first 3. And that became a running joke, because anytime you're playing Star Fox, somebody's going to start screaming out, do a barrel roll, and well, there's a nice visual aid that goes along with that. And if you ever see it, you'll understand.
It's literally a rolling barrel from one corner of the screen to the other.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like much, but it's actually
the timing
if
was
you're not good.
perfection, and it is my glorious I probably can die happy. But I don't know what else to go with on that, other than I got into this obviously just to have fun and possibly be a slight center of attention. A little bit of that.
Yeah.
Unlike you.
Well, I mean,
At
I
least
like it.
You're riding on my coattails, it's good.
I am. I like your coattails. They're very long. I'm actually 3 miles away.
It looks like he's so close. It's funny that he's talking about fighting games. We've got a guy on our staff that we're going to work on pretty soon about that kind of stuff. Actually, he's more on the levels of an expert though.
Nice.
So,
I'm an amateur, I like them all.
we're actually planning on going to EVO in 2018.
Me too.
As a
What game are you playing?
Currently or just in general?
Oh, you play, what game you championing an Eagle? Oh, you're not tournament playing or just watching?
No, right now I'm casual playing. I don't really play.
Oh, okay. I thought you
But I do
were
plan on going to EVO with at least Street Fighter 4, Killer Instinct, and maybe Persona, maybe.
Persona. How you play?
Yes.
That's a fun game.
How you play Persona multiplayer?
I have not yet.
Oh, Persona, the fighting game. Yeah.
Hoping to. It's just finding time to do so. But we'll get to that too.
Yeah, each of those fighting games have actually pretty good respectable communities. Of course, Street Fighter 4 is going to be the biggest. Persona Arena actually has a pretty good niche community. It's not the biggest one, but they give a lot of love for the game. That's actually, I think, from the makers of Blaze Blue, right?
Absolutely.
I got a question for you. What out of all your fighting games that you've worked on, what's your favorite?
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, without a doubt.
Yep.
Without
That's
a
what
doubt.
Maximilian always did.
Yep.
Those were always his best videos.
That's when I got started.
Why do you have a preference over like 3 over 2?
Because I got into the game so late. I mean, I played 2, I played 1, I loved them both. But when 3 came out, it introduced a new system with the assists and then also the characteristics of the characters themselves. Like the meta changed, the entire game changed when they brought that out. Not only visually, but aesthetically and the base mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like the characters more balanced, other than like two was basic was Cable and Benito and someone else?
Absolutely not. Because they're still finding infinite TACs that they're not going to patch. So, I mean, the game is broken. There's no doubt. The game is broken.
Yeah.
But it's fun because it's broken. Because you can still come out 3-5 years after the game's been released and be like, oh my god, I just found this new infinite, check this out. And technically it's still legal in most tournaments until they ban it, which for Evo I'm sure they would. But it's still,
what is the top like tier posting on Tree now, right now?
that is actually up to you personally. I mean, you have the top tiers like Wesker, Doom, Storm, Sentinel, et cetera, but really the top tier doesn't matter because at that point you're not having fun with the game anymore. At that point, you're just trying to find the cheapest, quickest way to win. It's 100% combo. Every character when they come in, cross up, get it done over with on the next game. Personally, I don't do that. I find the characters I enjoy playing the game. And if they're top tier, great. If they're low tier, great. As long as you're having fun with it, it doesn't matter.
What's your three mains you usually go with?
I do all random.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
There you go. That's pretty good.
All random.
That's
all the time.
fun.
So how much time would you say you guys all have to put into it?
Well, now I've changed up my styling because I got tired of working on the 16-hour for a single video of editing with a full-time job. It's a little rough. So I'm actually doing the more traditional route. And also I got new equipment too than I had before. Before I was doing some very weird stuff where I had that video camera back there recording my audio, a DVD burner recording the video from my game, and transporting that into Adobe Premiere and trying to sync up the audio between those two, and then going through the beginning of the editing process. That was murder. I bought
We were in the 90s as far as Let's Play videos go.
about almost on VHS level.
Yeah,
I've been there. So now I've got a Hop Hog 2, which is not the best thing. Now that unfortunately that was $150 down the drain.
Only 150.
Yeah.
Almost 225.
Wow, I got a deal. Awesome. And then I bought a $125 Yeti mic, which this thing is quite nice.
Yeah, that was actually probably our best investment.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have not quite learned how to properly use it yet, as some of our newer videos have some major issues with the gain.
And the game
So
is
it's just
very,
like
very sensitive.
just their normal conversation became like. So it was rough.
It's bearable, but yeah, it was. You're actually the only one that capped out the mic because I think we should have switched places after that second video.
I was a little bit closer to the mic,
closer.
and I tend to boom a little bit when I'm talking, so it's kind of bad. But I don't know, just equipment-wise, that's always a major hassle. That helps to cut down on time. So now for me, it's just a matter of once I've done the shoot, waiting for my computer to get done rendering it all. So it can take like 3 or 4 hours total for rendering until completion. And that's really not that bad because most of the time I'm doing something else while I'm waiting for the rendering. So as far as editing goes with the traditional route, which is commentary over games, now that it's recorded simultaneously for me, the overall editing is maybe like 10 minutes. And I'm just waiting for rendering after that.
What program do you recommend for simple this commentary over games?
Well, really just choose something that's you're comfortable playing with, something that you're knowledgeable on. For both of us, it was originally Fallout 3.
No, I'm not talking game, I'm talking like editing program.
Editing. Okay.
There's
simple
different
stuff.
choices.
Yeah.
You can do Sony Vegas, which is really good. You can do W Premiere. I'm assuming you use that. I use the same thing.
Yeah.
You can even use Windows Movie Editor if you have nothing else.
Yeah, which is the cheapest, easiest approach.
Just if you're looking to splice video segments together, Windows Movie Maker is by far the easiest choice probably to go with. That's actually something that I've used for a long time. And if you're not looking to edit animations and stuff onto the video, it's as simple as can be. Yeah.
You got this random question out there. Do you have a preference of Let's Player style, or like 100% or like basically just goof around type of style?
So what we're trying to do now is try to be devoted enough to actually finish a game to completion. But for us with Fallout 4, the idea for that is we're going to have to probably just follow the main storyline as much as possible, and not try to get too ADD off the sidetrack in order to not have a series that's like 5,000 episodes long.
Yeah, because there'll be no good way of doing it. Let's play for 100% of that. Now, 100% completion, it just depends on what type of game you're playing. If you're playing something like, let's say, Pokemon or
Pokemon's gonna take forever, man.
Mark of the Ninja is one that I played recently that was easily able
I know that.
100% in just a matter of days. It just depends on how short, how much content is within that game. Something definitely not an open world RPG. Definitely don't know 100% that. Choose playthroughs based upon quest lines. We were doing ours on the main story playthrough, doing a couple side quests just for XP experience, and if we want to do a side quest that has a lot of missions to it, we do a separate playthrough. Have it titled under something else. It's still Fallout 4 will do it, but it'd be something completely entirely. Witcher 3, if we ever get to do that, that's one that we would have to separate main story in several segments.
And censor bars.
Censor bars and
Moving censor bars.
I've perfected that.
oh yeah, we did.
Just a black bar.
Yeah,
Black
like
bar.
stuff
Like
like
it's
that
not
on
things you don't
YouTube.
need.
Stuff,
See it your age.
stuff that people can't handle apparently.
I use
It
it
doesn't
for
follow
comedy
YouTube's
purposes. I mean, that's the whole reason I
It's
did
to
it.
cover up naughty stuff
For
you shouldn't be
example,
seeing at your age.
For example, for a censor bar, if I was going to curse in a family-friendly situation, it would not only be you would see a black bar on my mouth so you couldn't read my lips, basically. If something's going to be shown on screen that doesn't need to be shown, it's a black bar with the word censor in most
Give an
cases.
example.
I just did.
More, in depth, but I guess
Stop.
It's just a black. It's basically just a black bar covering up nudity and cuss words sometimes.
It can also be used for complete just putting censor bars in
Yeah,
places that are actually totally appropriate, just
Exactly,
to
just
make
do
it
it for fun.
seem
Yeah, it was,
inappropriate, as we did with football game that we were playing.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
There at any one given time in every play, there was anywhere between like 10 to 12 censor bars on the screen as they're running down the field.
You
For
know,
good reason.
I really shouldn't be
man,
doing
you see
this.
those
I'm not
uniforms?
going to be on my phone the entire time. We just gave you an idea for videos.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else who's got anything?
Is there like an inspiration for the style you're going with?
Well, I mean,
Like a let's plays. Do you like?
I watch
copy,
anybody-
but like an inspiration from.
I
the
watch
style?
anybody from. I've watched everybody from AVG, which is obviously more along the lines of explanation, a review to Markiplier. I watch all these people, all these different people that I really enjoy. So I mean, I guess I'm just kind of a mixture of all of it.
Yeah, Achievement Hunter even, Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
What kind
It's
of
just entertaining, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
what kind of equipment do you use for your Let's Plays?
I use a Hotbox GVR2 I can. I used to use a snowball microphone, which I thought at the time was a great investment. It is if you're using it for a group of people for a Let's Play, and they're all relatively close, but for doing it by yourself, not so much, because the game tends to come from the back of the mic, so it catches your fan on your laptop or your PC. And most of the time you just hear so it's a lot of fun, so I switched over to the Turtle Beach headset, which is fantastic.
Condenser mics are usually pretty cool.
I'm sorry?
A condenser mic is usually pretty cool.
Agreed,
I've got
that's
a
very good, but
cheap one
unfortunately-
that'll stand in a pop filter, so.
I saw the snowball right next to the Yeti, and I was comparing the two, and I was like, I'll buy the Yeti.
Yeah, the Yeti was a lot better, but at the time, my wallet unfortunately was like, you need the snowball. So
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, okay, well, I agree.
My wallet was still screaming after the Yeti. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So what kind of financial investment is it?
I think that anywhere for the past couple of years, I have dropped at least a couple $1,000s in the stuff that I've been working with, trying to set up. Because I now have a separate room entirely designed for it that I've been trying to soundproof a little bit more. And obviously got TVs and games and consoles. And well, as much as I can say some of the games and consoles are for an investment, they're also for my personal collection. So.
That's one of the downsides to this, is when you want to start this, you have to go on the idea that you need to have money to make money. You will not make money in the beginning of this. That's if you're trying to get
Wait,
Let's
you make
Plays
money?
to do videos to make money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You will not succeed with that. I'm sorry. It's a proven fact. It will not happen. Now, if you want to do this as a side venture, as a hobby for fun, for entertainment, by all means get into it. You may not make anything, but that's not the point of it anymore. The point is for entertainment, not only for you, but for others as well, as for enjoyment. That's when you will become successful. Now, again, going back to this, you will sink some money into it. You have to buy a PC or laptop that's capable of recording. You need to buy a decent microphone for audio. You need to buy editing software or use the free software to begin with. You need to have programs for everything. And then you have the consoles, the games themselves. I mean, the peripherals for these things. Like if you want to do a Rock Band video, well, how are you going to do that without Rock Band and $300 package that comes with the guitar? you're going to have to put some money into this and not expect anything in return other than maybe a like or two.
So I was about to spring right off into that actually with, the grade of your computer that you're using for this, because like I have a Toshiba satellite that I got like 3 years ago, cost me $400, tends to overheat. The fan will mess out on me, and I guess the question I should be asking is, would I be able to get some decent views just posting videos of myself crying?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe. I mean, you could always do something where like the game starts and then it crashes as long as you have an external camera or another camera on the side like she's using here.
Yeah.
You just record a reaction to like,
Clean the cat hair out of your processor fan.
Exactly. And the dust. God, yes, the
That is
dust.
going to be a Herculean feat. I'm not seeing my cat.
You can
I have 7.
You can also, if you was looking to do a Let's Play video, just do something simple, maybe an older game from.
Something not so processor heavy on PC.
Yeah, not so processor heavy. You could actually do indie games. A lot of them are pixelated. But people do like to watch.
I'd like to do one of Undertale once I get
Yes, that's a new one.
I can stop crying.
So that's another thing to talk about as far as Let's Play go, as obviously you are a drop in a sea of other people wanting to do a lot of the same things. Right now with our Fallout 4 series, we are a drop in the sea. Like we thought, okay, day one we'll go out there and we'll set up our equipment for Twitch and everything else. And after, my computer can handle processing video that's 1080p at 60 frames per second with no problem, but apparently Twitch is a whole new demon that I didn't realize was so much more difficult to deal with. I didn't realize what I needed processor power-wise, but besides the point, I was a drop in the sea of thousands of people who had the same idea that night. So at 11 o'clock when we go to GameStop to pick up our copy, we get out, we start processing, we start sending our feed up, and we got everything going, and nothing. Nothing. Maybe like 2 or 3 people every now and then, but for the most part, it was a dead night for us because of the fact that we were just flooded. And so, referring as that as an example, when you're going to do Let's Plays, search for a really good one that I think that a lot of people make this example of. Search for Super Mario Brothers 3 Let's Play or something like that, and watch like the first 50 results, and you'll notice that almost all of them are the same, starting out visually. So you're going to be, if you're going to do Undertale has been done a lot lately.
Yeah,
Try to bring something different to the table if it's possible for you to be innovative. Otherwise, just do what you think you can enjoy, obviously. This is also for fun, so I mean, have fun doing it. Hopefully other people will have fun watching it.
One of the main things also is to speak to your camera if you're landing on your face cam. Speak to that camera as if you're on the couch with a bunch of people playing video. Don't think of it as you're alone. You're not alone. People are going to be watching this, and maybe 1 in maybe 10 million. But always speak to that camera as though you know that camera. That camera knows everything about you. You have inside jokes with that camera. Have a personality with it. Don't sit there monotone. Oh, that guy just crushed me. Oh, that sucks. 10 minutes of silence. Okay. 10 more minutes of silence. You don't want that. Would you watch that? Would anybody watch that? I mean, honestly. No. It's boring as hell.
Unless you're trying to do some type of weird indie piece, I don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
Maybe conservative art.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's just, at the very end, it's just some guy with a crying tear going
Don't
down
cry
the
for
thin.
me, I'm already
We should do.
Oh, God!
Oh, no. That's not good. But mainly, one of the main things that you want to record is find something you like that somebody does. Don't copy it. Find something that you like. Then watch somebody else do a similar version of it. And then what you do is you take all these little pieces of that puzzle, and the final piece is you. Your personality. What you want to watch. That's what you make. Because if you want to watch it, guess what? Everybody else will want to watch it. That's the main thing.
Well, in my case, it's mostly my friends wanting to torture me. Thanks, Undertale.
There you go.
Well,
It's as simple as that.
it's a start.
You know,
So.
obviously you don't always have to play something you're really good at, but I would advise you playing stuff that you're at least knowledgeable at.
Yes.
For him, he was talking about fighting games and getting into new ones, and the struggles of trying to basically being 6 months behind and whatnot, things of the sort. I have a confession to make. I'm the world's worst Metal Gear Solid player you will ever see. And
It's
so
probably one of our best videos too.
it's not the best as far as our editing goes, but they have the most fun torturing with it because it's our very first episode of Drunken
Oh,
Gamers.
wow.
It's me playing Metal Gear Solid 2, and if you ever watch it, it's all natural. It's not fake. I'm that bad.
That's an interesting question, though. Like, playing a game you're knowledgeable about versus a blind play.
I think a blind play can be a little dangerous, but if this is also a medium where you should probably be good at least decent at improv, on-the-spot comedy, or just being able to be clever and quick. Talking about what you see on the screen that's going on and be able to respond to it accordingly.
Well, see, for us, when he did the Metal Gear Solid 2, that was with our group, so
Yes.
we was actually able to play off and actually probably berate him a little bit on how bad he was at it. It all depends on the situation. So we had a group. I want to definitely do something that you you're going to be terrible at, and just go blindly into it. It might work. I mean, you have a chance of success, but it's something that seems like it would probably end entirely badly. So.
Oh yeah.
Well,
That's
for you
also
maybe.
That's the beauty of editing as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you don't have a group with you, if you're by yourself and you do have that 10 minutes of silence, it is recorded. If nothing happens importantly in the game, cut.
Yep.
Nobody has to see that 10 minutes of footage except for you.
And there's a lot of YouTube Let's Players that, that's what all of their videos are. It's just cut from one good segment to another, and it may be about 5 to 8 minutes of just funny content. And he's probably sitting here playing this for about 40 minutes, and but that works. If you've got a video that's like we've got 10 minutes of dead air, just cut that down and make a highlight reel.
Speed it up even, turn it into 30 seconds. Yeah. Super easy to do. I mean, and you get some really great voices out of it. Trust me, I've done it so many times. Yes.
What if you ended up doing like a blind and a knowledge let's play like at once? Like I've played nearly every main series Pokemon game and never even took a single ROM hack.
Okay.
What if I was to do a Pokemon ROM hack, which I'm actually considering doing?
You can do that. The beauty of that is the games are similar. So the knowledge from previous games will still carry over to that, and then the blind part comes in where you don't know what's coming next because it is wrong.
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely doable.
Yeah, you can definitely do it. We actually did a couple of Legend of Zelda hacks, which are probably one of the worst things on the earth that we have actually tried to play. But we actually knew basics of Legend of Zelda. However, it was still, it just depends on what ROM hack you're going to do.
It's dangerous to go along and take this.
Yes, it's
Surprising.
definitely. Take a couple of
What's
hacks.
mixed in with that?
I
What's
can't
mixed
have
in with that, please?
I don't know, but it's good. It's just sugar. It's just sugar. I
Was it like
promise.
a Kaizo version of like?
I've got a lot of. I'm a big collector as well, so I'm almost out of my Nintendo library to be finished. So we've started collecting hacked ROM games just in carts because it's more fun to have that physical media. And we were playing a hacked version of Zelda 2. It was something in darkness, and it literally got with the title because everywhere you went, it was so dark you couldn't see anything. So the recording also reflected that. And that was
A lot of it
bad
was
recording
judging
for us.
on,
We
like-
skipped that one. In fact, you'll never find that one online because it ended up being one we couldn't use.
At least it's on DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is on DVD.
Oh, there you
somewhere
go.
around.
It's better. Just press go. Any other questions?
Yeah, sorry, I got here late. What do you think the appeal of Let's Play are? I like watching Let's Plays of games I've already played myself.
Sure.
Or on the side chat, it's a game that I know I'm never gonna play myself, like Five Nights at Freddy. I don't like horror games, so it's fun to watch other people play that. But I don't understand why people would want to watch a Let's Play of a game if they're going to play the game because, spoilers. I want to experience myself, and then I have the fun of watching other people's experience.
I mean, there are some games that I've never played that I've watched the Let's Plays of myself, but I think the overall idea of the enjoyment of it is, let's take another idea here. There are people that watch this game called football on TV, where they sit down and cheer on teams of people playing together. They're watching a game somebody else is playing, and they enjoy it. There's a lot of people that are fans of it. That's just another way to look at it. We are people that are playing a game, and you're enjoying it by watching us play. And that's just the whole idea behind it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as what you're referring to with what's the appeal of people watching games that they might have a better experience playing on their own, I don't know.
Hey, if they can make an economy out of football, why not us?
Yeah.
Basically, if you want to watch a game, like personally, when I watch a new game that's just come out, that's my deciding factor within that first 2, 3, 5, 10, 15-minute video. Am I going to buy this game? Based on what this person does in it. Their reactions, what happens in the game, the storyline. Yes, it's a spoiler, but it's only the first few minutes of it.
Yeah.
Like a great example, Markiplier did Soma recently.
Oh, yeah.
I will not be purchasing that game. It's just not my personal flavor of game. It was very entertaining to watch him play and his reactions. But thanks to that, I know I'm not going to buy it. Does it spoil the game for me personally? No, it doesn't. I mean, hey, kudos to the publisher. Great, fantastic game. Beautiful, artistic storyline, whole 9 yards. It's just not personally for me. You know, when Max does a different fighting game that he sees online and he downloads or whatever, he plays online. Am I going to do that? No. But it's entertaining to watch him and his brothers do so.
I mean, some games you're just simply not into, like for example RPGs, but you just still want to know the story and what's going on. But you're not into playing RPGs.
I mean, I've
I think
definitely
there's
bought
a
games.
way to actually know what the game is.
I bought the Xenoverse for Dragon Ball Z just because I saw somebody else playing and I was like, this looks fun.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to buy
It's a great
Battlefront.
game.
There's no single player in it. I love single player campaigns. There's no campaign. It's just a few missions. I bought it just because I've seen other people play it. I'm like, I want to be out in flow.
Which sometimes a video game series that, you know, the fourth one's been released.
Yeah.
And I don't have the console from the 90s to play that one.
Exactly.
You know.
There's like hundreds of reasons to watch it.
Yeah. Another one that you mentioned is people watching games that they've already played themselves. Well, if I was going to watch somebody play something else, it's maybe something that I may have missed. Like if I was going to watch somebody play an open world game, he'll probably do a whole lot of stuff that I never thought to do. Different ways to do so and so this mission or that. So exactly. Yeah.
Perfect example. There's so many thousands upon thousands of things that you can build in GTA 5 that aren't from the core game mechanic. These people are inventing this on the fly. So if you have the game, you play with your friends, you know, doing whatever, you may catch a video online and be like, dude, this person made this map, we've got to try this. Let's give this a shot. Or you may be the person that's like, hey, this map just came out, it's got 2 votes on it. Let's record this and see what happens.
Yeah.
The nostalgia is also a powerful thing. It brings you back down to memory lane, so you end up seeing somebody playing, I don't know, Chrono Trigger or something again, and you're like, oh my god, I love that game. I want to go find a copy of it again or something like that. That's also a great thing about those type of videos. It helps to bring back people back to life on these things that they once played.
And on the subject of seeing some spoilers, in my personal experience, I don't know if this applies to anyone else, but I mean, I could have just watched the spoiler 5 minutes ago, then play in my actual copy of the game. It still blows me away because seeing it in person, not in.
Yeah, it's totally different.
I mean, it's just like I just saw this and I'm still dumbstruck by it.
But there's a reason for that. When you watch somebody else do it, you're not really paying attention to what happened in the game. You're paying attention to what they're reacting to. You're seeing their reactions. So when it happens with you on your screen or in your hands, you're like, oh, because you're immersed into that game. You're immersed into the story.
I don't know if that's how to
Oh, absolutely.
No, it's
Absolutely.
definitely different playing your own character yourself than watching somebody else do it. You
Personal
actually have to
investment.
get personal investment, exactly.
I know the big 2 reactions you try to get out of a Let's Play is to make the audience laugh, and also when you're playing a scary game is to have that big like scary reaction. Like I like Mark players Freddy's like, oh my gosh. And it's fun because it's fun watching other people get scared, but it's not so much yourself.
Yeah, it certainly happens.
I don't think we played a single. Oh no, you did get.
Yeah, I did.
That was
Just
just
house.
But
we don't do a lot of horror games ourselves.
that's something when I do my by myself single videos. I'll probably do a couple of horror games, and I actually enjoy them. I actually didn't get really into Five Nights at Freddy, but like Amnesia and the Dark Descent. I will be playing Soma. That's why I have stayed away from all Let's Plays of that. I will be doing that eventually, and even older games from Frictional as well, like Penumbra. Rake, a Rake game actually just came across Steam that I've heard is actually okay. So stuff like that, I actually enjoy getting scared, and when I do get scared, I scream at the top of my lungs, not because I'm trying to fake a reaction, it's just because
It's natural.
that's how I react to that
It's
kind
more
of
of
stuff.
an excited
Yes.
scream for him.
We was playing Fallout 4 at early game. Raiders tend to shoot mini nukes at you, fat mans and stuff. It happens, and I screamed.
No, it was a beautiful shot.
That was the only time that I
missed-
tapped out on mic.
That was it was our live Twitch stream, but unfortunately that particular section we lost the video. But it was just this
Yeah.
nice, beautiful shot that I wish we could have. Him bouncing in on one guy down the hallway. We don't even notice the guy behind him. Takes a shot and does that whole zoom in, follows the bullet, The guy goes down. As the guy's falling down, the Biggie Nuke's following the other way. And then death.
Yeah, by the time Vance is exited, I'm blown to smithereens. So
That's what's
one of the
playing
greatest moments that we
could not
did not
record.
get. So
It's unfortunate, and that'll happen a lot. I mean, you have some gamers out there who record every single minute of every game they play, just for those moments. And then you have those of us that like to sometimes play a game for its enjoyment, right? For the original reason of actually playing a video game, and we don't always record. Now, there's reasons for that. Sometimes we just want to play the game. Sometimes we just want to have fun. You know, and other times we're like, okay, we're going to see if this bug can happen and make this, make this a video. But not everything always goes to plan. Sometimes the game crashes, or the laptop burns out, and things like that.
I mean, we could also. I mean, I've got several things sitting on the shelf that I just had to completely ditch because either things got too inappropriate with drunken friends or
Too many center bars.
just bad topics or things of the sort. You know, it can happen. So that's another thing. If you partake in certain things while you're video recording, realize that things might get said that you don't want said. So
Exactly. You can bleep it out or just not release it.
yeah.
That's another reason. You can be as open or as closed as you want to be. It's all up to you. More questions, please. We love questions.
Yes.
Did you come up with the term Myriad, or is it?
Myriad is a
Myriad.
word, and it's an English dictionary that means many and diverse. It's a word I fell in love with a very long time ago, and I use it all the time. That's why my name's Myriad Mike online, and we have Myriad Gamers.
Yep.
So, and I have a big crew of people that we all work together that really are many and diverse.
So we're a myriad of gamers, essentially. So we're actually not the only two people that do content on our channel. We have a group of me, Mike, and two other people that do stuff, and there's actually two other folks that have done videos with us as well. I think one more.
She does too.
She-
My wife in the
Sandy as
background
well.
who's running the camera.
Hello.
You can hear her voice, but you won't be able to see her from home. More questions?
Actually, if I was gonna like look up you, and what do you recommend for me to start? I mean, what is you like to? I mean,
Bare minimum, if you're using a computer, if you've got a computer with like fraps.
no. I'm talking about like if I was gonna look you up and actually watch you, what
Oh.
you recommend me seeing?
What we always recommend is the Star Fox, the 4th episode of Drunken Gamers, which is the Star Fox episode. It's the one that if you go to our channel, it literally will link you there because it's the one we recommend first off. But other than that, we have, depending on what you're into, if you want to see stuff about my game collection, we have a whole series about that. We have a series we like to call Gameaholics that we basically, we're shopaholics. Me and my wife are, so we'll have the bulk of stuff that we bought over a month, and we'll sit down and talk about it. That's not really the typical.
Couple
video
months.
gaming.
Couple months.
Couple months.
Clarifying that.
It's still a fairly large bulk, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I would not recommend my first video. It is crap.
Oh yeah.
Just
See,
throwing that out there.
the other thing about that is a lot of channels and stuff, what they'll do is they'll repackage themselves at a later date and time, which is, I could possibly recommend it, which is to basically filter out all the bad content that you first had that you didn't like so much, reopen a new channel, and put all your new content out, or your content that you actually liked, that you wanted the people to see. I have everything out there. The worst of the worst to the greatest of my stuff is all on one channel, so.
But another thing I like about it is to see the progression of that particular person. You can see where they started and you're like, okay, they had a dream with this. Now let's see where they are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, or even months from now. You can just kind of watch the progression get better and better.
And Markiplier's like that. You can go back to his stuff from, I guess, about 4 or 5 years ago. And actually, I started watching him about 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden he got big. But I remember his old stuff. It wasn't bad, but you can definitely tell he was a lot different. You could see how he grew into his channel that he has now. It's actually really cool.
It's a big learning curve.
Yes,
It's going to take a lot of time.
Absolutely. So I'm trying to I don't have one that personally stands out. I guess Demon's Forge.
I mean, as a series, it's like back to back. You probably suggest Saw Fox.
Well, that's just a single episode. The Drunken Gamers series itself is every single episode is actually a different game that we're going on.
Oh,
and most of the stuff that you see is actually stuff you would have never heard of. Because the Star Fox episode isn't traditional Star Fox. This is the unreleased Star Fox 2 for the SNES that I'm playing on a hard cart that I have. So it's a complete game, but it's one you've never seen before. So
Another one, if you was looking for another video on our channel, is the Contra 3 video. That was a good one. Or the Metal Gear Solid 2. So we've got a couple that I would recommend right off the bat. So,
they were threatening to make me play 3 whenever we did the second series, and that is the first episode. I hate you all.
Absolutely.
I will.
Just for that reason right there.
let's do 5 or something. It actually might be good. That's a lot different. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to ask?
These questions, especially YouTube did.
I'm just soaking in. Listening. And I am.
I'll say one thing.
Just realized who you were behind the mask. It took me 5. I was just like, wait a second. You plus you equals I know who you are. Your secret identity has been revealed, sir.
Imposters.
I'll say one thing. One of the biggest troubles that me and Mike have had is the technical issues.
Do not get discouraged, please.
Yeah, do not. We lost majority of our Fallout 4 Twitch broadcast because we use XSplits. It helps.
Oh, it told me no frames dropped. We were going for 6 hours, no frames dropped. Apparently the bitrate wasn't even going. The Dallas server just did something and threw up. So we got 30 minutes of footage on 6 hours of Twitch play.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, we're broadcasting full stream speed, man. And you've got no frames dropped the whole time. It's great. I go check the channel.
It
It's
says
dead.
we're online.
Wow,
Yeah.
just nothing.
So
Wow. That happened during the recording.
yeah.
I mean, great video, great reactions, everything, and I get done, I gotta play it back and watch it, and I'm like, there's nothing. Literally 4.5 hours of my life just gone that I need to start, I need to erase, and then start all over again and try to remember where this stuff happens to try and duplicate it, and
Yeah.
it just...
It might be a good idea at that point to stop, take a break, walk away.
I did. Oh, I took like a week off.
Yeah.
It was that disappointing.
Because you obviously don't want to do something you immediately be frustrated. Yeah.
These things happen. So if you was good to do your own channel, have you a list of stuff that you always want to check in case something goes wrong for us? Twitch, have a separate laptop instead of the one that you're
We did that the
on.
second day.
And
We had it up and I was sitting there checking that sucker every 5 minutes.
yes,
We're good.
so
And then everything still hit the fan because apparently there was some type of record broken that day on Twitch with and everywhere, every server I tried to use, it was just choking.
yeah.
Dallas, Miami, the UK, all of them just wow. For us anyway. We upgraded our internet to like blast and everything else just to have the best possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got you. Trust me, I feel
Yes, sir.
your pain.
There's some people, a trick that some people do is they record the game footage, and then when in the editing, that's when they talk over it.
That's a whole other, that's another style. That's
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable.
And actually,
Great.
like that style because you can watch your own video and come up with great things to say throughout it.
I would definitely suggest though if that's your case, spontaneity and improv feels very natural. But if you're doing a post-production thing, I would suggest maybe taking some type of soft acting class or something. Because if you're trying to do a dry read and do a joke after the fact, it might come off as very dry or bland or not even realistic.
Is there like a place you can go? I mean, is there like improv classes someplace in Memphis?
I do not know off the top of my head. I've actually
Yeah.
thought about looking into it myself just to see if I could get better. Improving yourself is always a great way to go about it.
Markiplier did lessons.
You took singing
So it's something
lessons.
definitely to look into. It can't hurt, and Mark Blair's case it definitely helped because he is very animated, very vocal.
That man's
he
voice.
projects well as well. So
Yeah, back to your question about the commentary on the videos, it really also depends on what type of game you're playing. Are you doing something that requires a ton of attention and a ton of concentration to where you really can't talk at the moment? For like fighting games. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's really good to just be silent, just record the game by itself, play it, and then commentate over. Maybe discuss your matches, what went right, what went wrong. Other times it's great to just get, okay, you know what, F it, random all, let's go see what happens. Oh my god, I'm going against the top tier team. Holy shit. Roll. For like adventure games, I would not recommend doing commentate over the video once it's done, unless you're doing a walkthrough. Like, okay guys, this is gonna get this achievement, this is gonna get this quest, you're gonna go here, here, here. And even then you can edit it out and shorten it up, so instead of being a 5-hour ordeal, you can make it and do commentary. But again, it also really relies on what kind of video you want to do.
There's an hour break between 5 o'clock and 7
Are we good? Yeah. One more question. It's totally unfair.
One more question, who's got time for it? Us.
What is the worst thing that one can do when start?
We'll go this way without me. Don't get that.
Honestly, I would say I'm still a lot newer on the curves compared to him. So I haven't really, I'm not really sure what the absolute worst thing to do except for give up or just to just not schedule things well enough. I mean, you've got a real life outside of this, you know, obviously don't neglect that. Try to actually, I don't know, properly schedule things is really the best thing. Make sure, don't take on too much.
That's where we're kind of at right now, is to find time that we want to actually, me and him sit down and record some stuff. And he's done one. He's set aside a day that he wants to video edit. So he's got that going. We need to just find time that you can set aside from everything else. Sit down for a couple hours, record some stuff, find some time to edit some stuff. And as long as you keep on doing that, have you a set schedule for you to record and edit, you're actually doing a pretty good bit of work there by itself. And just have fun. Make it natural. Have fun with your videos.
Don't overwhelm yourself.
Yes.
Quite simply put, again, we're talking all these big names, but these are also people that have a ton of people backing them. Markiplier used to do it by himself. It was one video a day, sometimes one video a week. You have Rooster Teeth that can do upwards of 20 or 30 videos a week, but they've got 300 people there. If it's by yourself and you're doing everything yourself, in my case, one video a week is a great way to start out. You have work, you have other things you want to do, you have a social life, and you have everything else that's going on in your life. So don't overwhelm it. Don't get discouraged. Do not give up. Don't set unattainable goals. Don't expect to go into this and be a millionaire overnight. All of these things will destroy you inside and make you go, I don't want to lose anything. When you lose the fun, you lose the inspiration. So make sure you set everything aside in advance. This week, in August of this year, which is a good 9 months away, if not longer, 10 months away. I want to do this game when it comes out. This gives me a month to play before I start recording, and I can get everything I want fun for me personally out of the way, and then I can go back and redo it for people. There's nothing wrong with that. The main core of this is having fun with it. Don't expect to win the lottery.
Thank you guys.
If you guys want to
Thank you very
come up
much.
and get YouTube channels, exchange information, please feel free. Yeah. So we're YouTubers that like to watch as well as play.
Oh, yes.
A YouTube address, I'm guessing, or just?
I do.